Why do you have sleep paralysis? Imagine this scene. You open your eyes in the middle of the night. You seem to be awake, but you can't move even a finger. You feel a terrifying tightness in your chest, but you can do nothing to help yourself. It's hard to draw a breath, and then you start to hear voices and see dark shadows looming over you. No, that's not the plot of a new horror blockbuster. That's sleep paralysis, a phenomenon that is not as rare as you think. In this video, you'll get to know a lot of new and most likely unexpected facts that will shed light on this scary situation. If you want to see other enlightening videos, pay attention to the red subscription button. After you click it, you'll get to the bright side of life where new videos appear every day. That's why it's better to turn on notifications. You don't want to miss anything cool, do you? Even if you've never heard of sleep paralysis, the chances are high that you've experienced it at least once in your life. Dr. Cleet Kushida, medical director of the Stanford Sleep Medicine Center in Redwood City, California, says that more than 40% of the population has experienced a minimum of one case of sleep paralysis. According to another research study conducted in 2011, 8% of people suffer from sleep paralysis on a regular basis. Sleep paralysis doesn't pose a serious risk to your health. But this experience can be truly terrifying unless you know what it is. Why does sleep paralysis occur? People have known about the phenomenon of sleep paralysis for many centuries. There have been a wide variety of explanations, starting from supernatural powers that took people under their control to aliens that abducted humans. Nowadays, however, the enigma of sleep paralysis doesn't seem such a mystery. Specialists have figured out what this condition is, how to deal with it, and what triggers the problem. It turns out that sleep paralysis happens when your body and brain don't get in sync when you sleep. During a proper night's sleep, your brain sends a message to your nervous system that it's time to relax your muscles. This is necessary so that you don't hurt yourself if you happen to move around a whole lot while you're sleeping. This may potentially happen during the rapid eye movement or REM sleep cycle, when your brain is ready to wake up. Usually when you aren't in the phase of REM sleep, it gives an order to finish this self-induced paralysis. People who experience sleep paralysis wake up when they are still caught in the REM sleep cycle. This is the reason why they are awake and mostly conscious, but unable to move or speak. Their muscles haven't received that important signal from the brain that can let them move freely. There are two types of sleep paralysis. Isolated sleep paralysis can happen to a person just once or a couple of times in their life, and it usually lasts for several minutes. This isn't long, but if you experience this phenomenon for the first time, it can scare you senseless. People describing their experience with sleep paralysis say that horror movies do nothing for them anymore because they have already seen the most terrifying things imaginable. But even that is nothing compared to the second type of sleep paralysis. This is called recurrent isolated sleep paralysis, and it's a chronic condition. People suffer from it throughout their life. Such sleep paralysis can last for more than an hour. So, what's so scary about this phenomenon? You don't have control over your body. Some people who have sleep paralysis on a regular basis describe it as waking up dead. Your mind is awake, but doesn't have control over your body. Thus, you feel as if you're in a trap. You can't move a finger. Isn't that a spooky sensation? On the other hand, in some rare cases, people reported being able to move their facial muscles or even wiggle their toes. This helped them to wake up faster. In most cases, though, there's nothing you can do except wait it out. You feel like you can't breathe. In the past, people believed that demons and other supernatural beings caused sleep paralysis by sitting on a person's chest while they were asleep. People with sleep paralysis indeed have difficulties with their breathing, but there's a perfectly scientific explanation for this sensation. In these cases, You wake up at the wrong time, meaning your period of REM sleep isn't over yet. As a result, your muscles are still asleep, and this includes your chest muscles. The only exception is your diaphragm. This is why people have shortness of breath or think that something heavy is resting on their chest. You can't speak. Another thing about sleep paralysis is an inability to call for help. This makes sense. The muscles that control your mouth also fail to function. That's why when you try to call for help, it turns out that you can't utter a single word. This is accompanied by a feeling of being choked because not enough air is getting into your lungs. Hallucinations can be spine-chilling. In sleep paralysis, you are stuck on the border between sleeping and being awake. Your mind is alert, your eyes are open, but your body is still unconscious. And if you think that nightmares are, well, nightmarish, imagine having one when your eyes aren't closed. That's exactly what happens to 3/4 of people who experience sleep paralysis. But these hallucinations are of different kinds. You might see horror movie creatures bending over your motionless frame. You might hear strange sounds or labored breathing behind your back. To your dismay, you can't even turn your head to check it out. On top of that, you might feel something touch your skin. But once again, you are unable to deal with this. However, in most cases, patients experiencing sleep paralysis just feel a strange alien presence in the room. Despite all these scary symptoms, scientists recently discovered that 20% of those who regularly experience sleep paralysis have learned to enjoy it. As shocking as it may sound, they simply let themselves relax and just watch it happen. That's what we call fortitude. What can trigger sleep paralysis? First and foremost, it's sleep deprivation. Not getting enough sleep on a regular basis can cause serious sleep disruptions. The same goes for altered patterns of sleep. That's why you are at a higher risk if you frequently work night shifts. If your life is full of chronic stress, don't be shocked if you aren't able to move for a couple of minutes one morning. Eating heavy, fatty, or sugary meals before going to bed can also trigger sleep paralysis. Sometimes this condition can be caused by something as simple as sleeping on your back. People with such psychological conditions as bipolar disorder can have problems with sleep paralysis. Even leg cramps that occur at night can worsen the situation. Sleep paralysis is also likely to happen to someone who uses drugs. Some medications can result in this problem as well, so if you take any, ask your doctor about such side effects. Which groups of people are at a higher risk of experiencing sleep paralysis? Children and adults from 10 to 25 years old. People with mental disorders such as PTSD, depression, or anxiety are at a higher risk of experiencing sleep paralysis. Dr. Shelby Harris, director of the Behavioral Sleep Medicine Program at the Sleep-Wake Disorder Center at Montefiore Medical Center, has also drawn a connection between narcolepsy and sleep paralysis. Narcolepsy is a medical condition where people fall asleep every time they're in a relaxing atmosphere. Such patients have an absent or damaged brain chemical called hypercretin. This chemical helps your body stay alert and regulates its sleep-wake cycles. That's why people with narcolepsy have a disrupted sleeping pattern, which often leads to sleep paralysis. Are there natural ways to keep sleep paralysis away? While doctors don't have an answer for how to make sure you don't experience sleep paralysis, there are some natural ways to deal with this problem. First of all, get enough sleep. And by enough, we mean no less than 7 or 8 hours a day. Try to go to bed at approximately the same time every day. Sleep on your side or belly. Try not to have big meals in the evening. Avoid heavy fats and proteins, sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. Try chamomile tea. It has an amazing relaxing effect. Meditation has a similar calming effect. Meditating for even 5 minutes can help you wind down and reduce anxiety, which can cause nightmares. If you experience a lot of stress or have any mental issues, visit a therapist. They might prescribe medication to help you deal with your problems. Don't use any gadgets at least an hour before going to bed. And don't watch scary videos when getting ready to sleep. Have you ever experienced the phenomenon of sleep paralysis? Or perhaps you know someone who has? Tell us about this in the comments below. Remember to press the like button. This way we'll know that you appreciate our work and we'll be even more enthusiastic to create new videos for you.